Check out shares of MicroStrategy, the stock taking a hit after the District of Columbia Attorney General accused company founder Michael Saylor of tax fraud. Robert Frank joins us now with the latest. Robert.
Good morning, Melissa. Well, Michael Saylor started filing taxes as a Florida resident about 10 years ago. He bought a house in Miami, changed his driver's license and his voter registration. But according to the D.C. Attorney General, Saylor actually lived in D.C. in a 7,000 square foot penthouse in Georgetown or his yacht docked nearby. The complaint saying Saylor, quote, bragged to his confidants about his successful plan to create the illusion of residing in Florida in order to evade D.C.'s personal income taxes. Now, what is very unusual about this case is that it did not come from a tax audit. It came instead from a whistleblower complaint under D.C.'s new False Claims Act that actually targets wealthy tax dodgers and gives big rewards to the whistleblower. The AG also suing MicroStrategy, saying the company filed false returns on behalf of Saylor. The lawsuit claims he avoided over $25 million in taxes to D.C. It's seeking up to $100 million in taxes and penalties. Saylor saying, Florida is where I live, vote, and is the center of my personal and family life. I look forward to resolution in the courts. MicroStrategy saying the claims are false and an overreach. But this was, guys, very surprising given how careful we know Florida tax residents are about how many days they're in the state, and given that MicroStrategy is based in Virginia, not spending too much time there.
Why isn't this, Robert, just a case for the tax officials in the various states involved as opposed to a lawsuit filed by the D.C. Attorney General?
That is a great question. And the other interesting part of that is that the legal standard for this Whistleblower False Claims Act is much higher than a normal tax case. In a tax case, let's say if it came from the IRS or the D.C. tax authorities, it would be up to Saylor to prove that he did not, in fact, live in D.C., that he spent most of his time in Florida. In this case, there's a much higher burden of proof on the plaintiffs and the prosecutors. They're the ones that have to prove that Saylor, in fact, lived in D.C. and didn't spend more than half the year in Florida. So it's a different legal standard, very different legal process. And it will be interesting to see if the government, if the D.C. Attorney General has enough proof within MicroStrategy from all the drivers, the pilots, the security guys that apparently had his locations, whether that's enough proof for the court.